People out there, Arno TV is live on YouTube on this Sunday evening. I hope everybody is doing well out there, and I just wanted to come on here tonight. Because I've not been on here in a couple of days, and just catch up with you guys about what these despicable, disgusting people that we talk about on this channel have been up to. So let's just go over to the internet. And let's just have a look at what these vile, disgusting people have been up to. So let's start here on Sky News. COVID-19, UK records 141,472 new cases and a further 97 coronavirus-related deaths. The largest daily figures come after Education Secretary Nadhim Zahawi, you know, him who used to be the vaccine minister and now all of a sudden he's the Education Secretary. How all these people like to swap jobs around constantly, so there's no, you know, it's hard to keep a track of who's in charge of what. That is what these people are up to. Well, he told Sky News that the government has no plans to scale back free lateral flow tests to high-risk UK settings. And the UK has recorded 141,472 new COVID-19 cases and a further 97 deaths in the last 24-hour period. The latest government figures compare to 146,390 infections and 313 fatalities recorded on Saturday, which took the UK's total COVID-related death toll to more than 150,000. So in the last 48-hour period, we've had over 400 deaths from COVID. And these people, these vile, disgusting people, try and put out there that there's no more restrictions and there's no more lockdown coming, yeah? These people are taking you for idiots. Like we've been telling you for weeks and weeks, a lockdown is coming very, very soon, isn't it? Because let's face it, let's look at this article again in The Guardian. At least 24 NHS trusts declare critical incidents due to COVID pressures. So we have at least 24 NHS trusts in the UK declaring critical incidents due to COVID pressures. And that's down to people, you know, staff absences with COVID, because, you know, lots of people are getting COVID right now, aren't they? It seems like everybody's getting COVID right now, yeah? And, you know, as well as people who are unvaccinated, people who are vaccinated are getting COVID, aren't they? Double and triple vaccinated people are getting COVID, aren't they? Aren't they? And these people want to, you know, implement draconian laws all over us, like vaccine passports that restrict movement and freedom. Even though whether you've got a vaccine or whether you have one, it doesn't stop you catching COVID and doesn't stop you passing it on to other people, does it? These people are an utter disgrace. And, you know, as we've told you, the only reasons why thus far England has not had further restrictions put on it yet, like Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, by people like Drakeford and Sturgeon, yeah? The only reason, well, one of the main reasons, should I say, is because of all these party revelations that came out about these people throwing parties in Westminster, Whitehall and Downing Street in November and December of 2020, when we were all locked down, when we were all obeying the rules, when we had dying relatives and things that people couldn't see. These people, these vile, disgusting, despicable individuals were drinking Dom Perignon and eating caviar and laughing at you and me. That is what these despicable, vile individuals were up to, okay? And that is, you know, and there's been further revelations like here in The Independent that have come out today. Boris Johnson accused of attending BYOB drinks party in number 10 Downing Street during lockdown. Downing Street did not deny the fresh allegations detailed in the Sunday Times, okay? And Boris Johnson stands accused of personally attending a drinks party in the number 10 Downing Street garden in the first lockdown, okay? So not only were these people breaking the rules in December and November of 2020 on the second lockdown, yeah, these people were also breaking the rules in the first lockdown. Like we've told you here on Arno TV, what these people want to do, not only do they want to implement this new multilateral global system that we're all going to have to live under, that they want to replace democracy with all over the Western world, these people, in addition to that, they want to have a completely separate world to us where they can do exactly what they want, break any rules that they want, bend any rules that they want, and there's never any consequences for any of these people. Because what's happened to any of them? What has happened to any of these people? Zero has happened to them. These people, like I've been telling you since the start of this pandemic, have a lot to answer for, don't they? These people are an utter disgrace, and there is absolutely no doubts about that anymore at all. Is there? Is there? These people are a disgrace. And I tell you what else has gone on in the last couple of days since I've been on here. Oh yeah, Sajid Javid went into a hospital, didn't he? And had a little bit of an encounter with an NHS doctor, didn't he? COVID-19, this is on Sky News. COVID-19, Sajid Javid was directly challenged on mandatory coronavirus jabs by unvaccinated NHS doctor. Steve James, a consultant anaesthetist who has been treating coronavirus patients since the start of the pandemic, tells her health secretary, Sajid Javid, about his displeasure with the government's policy of mandatory and forced vaccinations of the NHS staff. This man, Javid, is a disgrace, just like his predecessor, Hancock. So let's just lower the music down, shall we, a moment? Let's just lower the music down and let's just listen to this encounter, okay? And then we'll come back and talk about it. So I'm just going to shut up and press play.
What do you think of the new rule to require vaccination of all NHS staff?
I'm not happy about that. So
You're not happy about it? Tell me.
So I've had COVID at some point.
Yeah.
I've got antibodies.
Yeah.
I've been working on COVID ITU since the beginning. I have not had a vaccination. I do not want to have a vaccination. The vaccine's reducing transmission only for about 8 weeks with Delta. With Omicron, it's probably less. And for that, I would be dismissed if I don't have a vaccine. It's not. The science isn't strong enough.
That's your view. And your views? Do you have any view on that? I respect that, but there's also many places
I agree with
different views.
Yep, there's other views,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and there's another colleague
Yeah.
who's also in the same position.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. And obviously we have to weigh all that up for both health and social care. And there will always be a debate about it. But it's
maybe there's an opportunity to reconsider with Omicron and the changing picture, or at least to nuance it and allow doctors who've had antibody exposure, who've got antibodies, who haven't had the vaccination, to not have it, because the protection I've got from transmission is probably equivalent to someone who's vaccinated.
Yeah, but at some point that will wane as well.
But if you want to provide protection with a booster, you'd have to inject everybody every month. If it's worn off by 2 months, if the protection's worn off for transmission after 2 months, then after a month you've still got a bit of protection. So if you want to maintain protection, you're going to need to boost all staff members every single month, which you're not going to do.
No, we take advice on how much you may need,
but it's not going to achieve a practical benefit.
Well, we take the very best advice that we can.
I understand, but you're
from the people that are vaccine experts.
Oh, from the people people that are vaccine experts. Who the hell does this guy think he is? Okay? Because who he is a banker, someone who works for JP Morgan, who works hand in hand with Klaus Schwab. Yeah? Who the hell does this guy think he is, talking to a doctor like that, who's on the front line and has been on the front line since the start of this? As this guy said, as this doctor said, people who have had COVID and recovered from COVID, who have antibodies in them, have, literally the same kind of protection as people who are vaccinated. What is this guy talking about, Javid? This man is an absolute disgrace. And who the hell is he to speak to a doctor on the front line like that? He takes advice from the experts that make the vaccines, yeah? Experts, yeah? Has he forgotten about, people like Dr. Mike Yeadon, yeah? Dr. Mike Yeadon, the former chief scientific advisor to Pfizer, who's filed charges with the ICC, according to this article and many others on the internet, against the following group of people: Gates, Fauci, Daszak, charged with genocide in court filing. Okay? In a stunning 46-page legal filing to the International Criminal Court on December the 6th, an intrepid attorney and 7 applicants accused Anthony Fauci, Peter Daszak, Melinda Gates, William Gates III, which is Bill Gates, and 12 others of numerous violations of the Nuremberg Code. These include various crimes against humanity and war crimes as defined by the Rome Statutes, Articles 6, 7, 8, 15 and 53. Okay? This is what's going on, people. And, he talks about taking advice from experts, the people that make vaccines. Well, who are the other people named in this filing to the International Criminal Court? Oh, I see. Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, yeah? Stefan Brandstel, the CEO of Moderna, Pascal Soriot, the CEO of AstraZeneca, Alex Gorski, the CEO of Johnson & Johnson. Like those people, yeah? Those people. Or perhaps it could be advice from people like the other people named in this, like Ted Ross, the Director General of the World Health Organization, or Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, or Chris Whitty, the UK Chief Medical Officer, or his predecessor maybe, Matt Hancock, okay, or perhaps he listens to himself, who's named in this document, Sajid Javid, the current Health Secretary, or perhaps it could be June Rain, the UK Chief Executive of the MHRA, who's also named in this filing to the ICC. Or it maybe could be Dr. Rajiv Shah, the President of the Rockefeller Foundation, yeah? Or perhaps it could be somebody very familiar to him, someone who he's working hand in hand with, who's named in this filing to the ICC. Klaus Schwab, the President of the World Economic Forum. Okay? This is who these people are. They're an absolute disgrace. A disgrace. And we very well know, don't we, people? We very well know who Sajid Javid is working with, don't we? Because if we go over to the World Economic Forum's website, where he's got his own little page about him, he is working hand in hand with Klaus Schwab and all of his acolytes over at the World Economic Forum, pushing the agendas of the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and stakeholder capitalism. That is who Sajid Javid is. He is a disgrace. Who the hell does he think he is, talking to a frontline NHS senior doctor like that? This man is an absolute disgrace. He's a tyrant. A tyrant. And these vaccine passports are tyrannical because, him and his friends are all for that. His mates who he works with, yeah? People like Emmanuel Macron, the French disgraceful president, and his recent remarks, Macron rebut to the unvaccinated citizens, incurs anger in Parliament. Politicians challenge French president on his unfit language after his vow to put 5 million people without COVID jabs, and I quote, in the shit. That is who these people are. They're an absolute disgrace. Emmanuel Macron faced criticism from political opponents and heated scenes in Parliament on Wednesday of this week after he gave deliberately provocative ranting to the unvaccinated French people, saying that he would make their lives difficult as possible by curbing their access to spaces such as cafes, restaurants, bars, non-essential retail, all that kind of thing. These people, like we've told you, if you don't have a vaccine, what these people want to do is basically make your life so uncomfortable and miserable. This is complete coercion. These people are an utter disgrace, these people. And how do you think the response has been, over in France from the French public to what these kind of comments Macron has come out with? What do you think their response has been? Do you think it's been positive? Because if we go over to Sky News, today, COVID-19, tens of thousands protest in France over Emmanuel Macron's planned coronavirus restrictions. So here we are, there's a video. I'll left the link in the description anyway, so you can look at what the French people think of a tyrant like Macron. And who's Macron working with again? Who is it? Who's Macron working with? Oh, that's right. He's another one of these people, isn't he? Because if we go over to the World Economic Forum site again, okay, their website, and look, he's got his own little page about him, just like Sajid Javid. These people are all working together, and like we've told you, they're all working hand in hand with Schwab and all of his acolytes over at the World Economic Forum, aren't they? Aren't they? This is what these people are up to. And when we look at another story that's all over the media today, and has been for a couple of days, about what's going on with Novak Djokovic, okay, the tennis player, Australian government lawyers say Novak Djokovic was never assured of entry to Australia, okay? Court filing confirms world number one is unvaccinated and he's in a bid to try and play in the Australian Open, right? Now, before I came on air tonight, I was watching Sky News where they were showing, a VT, an article and stuff on Sky News online, where they were showing that the Australian government did give Djokovic the all clear to come and did give him an exemption on the basis as well that he'd recently had COVID and had recovered from it. Therefore, the antibodies that he had in his body was giving him the kind of protection a vaccine would do, and this was on Sky TV this evening, okay? And we all know that Djokovic, has been quite outspoken on his views about the idea of mandatory and forced vaccinations, hasn't he? That is why this guy is being made an example of and been used as a political pawn, okay? That's what's going on. Because if we go over to Sky again, let's read this article. Novak Djokovic, why is tennis star being denied entry to Australia? And what are the travel rules? Novak Djokovic is awaiting a final decision from an Australian judge on whether his medical exemption from COVID vaccination is valid for him to play in the Australian Open in Melbourne, which starts on the 17th of January. And in that thing that I saw on Sky TV before I came on air, it also said that there are players playing in the Australian Open that are already there that have exemptions that don't have vaccines. So why is this guy being made an example of? Because let's face it, we've all seen it. What's been going on in Australia under these COVID times has been absolutely disgraceful, and they have been implementing all sorts of draconian measures and laws all over the Australian population, haven't they? Because they have Democrats over there. They have Democrats over there like Michael Gunner, don't they? Like Michael Gunner, the Chief Minister of the Northern Territories. Shall we remind Arno TV viewers what his views are about anyone who goes against the mandate, yeah? Shall we just turn the music down and remind Arno TV viewers again what this despicable individual had to say very recently?
Around calling people anti-vaxxers, some of whom were vaccinated, has had an impact at all on vaccine take-up in parts of the territory?
No, and I'll repeat it. If you are anti-mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. I don't care what your personal vaccination status is. If you support, champion, give a green light, give comfort to, support anybody who argues against the vaccine, you are an anti-vaxxer. Absolutely. Your personal vaccination status is utterly irrelevant. If you campaign against the mandate, if you campaign against people being vaccinated in vulnerable settings, teachers in classrooms, I'll be really clear, at that point in time, people were actually supporting the idea of a teacher being unvaccinated in a remote community classroom with kids who cannot be vaccinated. I reject that utterly, and I still reject it. And if you are out there in any way, shape or form campaigning against this mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. If you say pro-persuasion, stuff it, shove it. We are absolutely going to make sure as many Territorians as possible are vaccinated. That is our best protection against this thing. And if you look at the Doherty modelling that's only come out since, that says if you double dose 80 in remote communities, 5 and up, I think you'll see our vaccine mandate is absolutely crucial to protecting lives, particularly Aboriginal lives. And I will never back away from supporting vaccines. And anyone out there who comes for the mandate, you are anti-vax.
Well, there you go, people. This is what politicians in Australia are like, okay? These people are an absolute disgrace. And where is Djokovic been for? He's been slung into one of these COVID hotels, hasn't he? Yeah? And where is it that he is? He's in Melbourne, isn't he? These people think we're stupid. There's been huge amounts of protest from the Victorian citizens over the last few months about what these draconian, disgusting, despicable people have been up to. Like it says here in this article in The Guardian, Australia COVID protests, threats against treacherous politicians as thousands rally in capital cities. Traitorous, should I say, politicians. Thousands of people have marched in freedom rallies in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth and Adelaide, and the largest crowd in the Victorian capital has protest against the state government's pandemic legislation ramped up again. Protests marched on from Victoria State Parliament down Bourke Street up to Flagstaff Gardens, carrying Australian flags and placards bearing anti-vaccination and anti-lockdown and anti-government slogans, whilst chanting "Kill the Bill" and "Sack Dan Andrews, the Premier of Australia." Okay, and this is where this is going on in Victoria. And who's Dan Andrews again? Who's Dan Andrews? Oh, that's right. Dan Andrews is another one of these people, isn't he, that's working hand in hand with Klaus Schwab and all of his acolytes over at the World Economic Forum, pushing this agenda, isn't he? Because if we look here, on this this article on the World Economic Forum's website about youth mental health framework launch, which was posted on the 29th of May, okay? Who's part of this panel and this launch? Oh, that's right. It's Dan Andrews, the Premier of Victoria in Australia. Like I've told you, all of these people that we speak about on this channel, all of them, every single damn one of them is pushing the agenda of the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution and stakeholder capitalism. And every single one of them is working hand in hand with Klaus Schwab and all his acolytes over at the World Economic Forum pushing these agendas, okay? That is what these despicable, vile, abhorrent people are up to. And as I've told you on many occasions, it's about time out there, people, that people start to open their eyes and see these people for exactly what they are and see exactly what agendas these people are pushing and exactly who these people are working with and who these people are representing. Because let me tell you something, all these people that we speak about on this channel, they're not representing you, are they? And they're definitely not representing me, are they? Who are these people representing? Oh, that's right, yeah? They're representing them and all their acolytes. That is who these people are. They're an utter disgrace. And moving on to another story that we've been speaking about on this channel recently. When I was at work today and I saw this article while I was having a fag outside, basically pop up on my phone, yeah? While I was having a cigarette outside, I saw this, article on Google, yeah? Just pop up on my news feed. These people are an utter disgrace, yeah? They're a disgrace. Let's go over to the Daily Mail and see what Klaus Schwab's friends are pushing out today into the public consciousness, right, about this trial with Ghislaine Maxwell. Because what these people are trying to do is derail this trial. These people are all working together like we told you. And the reason, like I told you yesterday and many times, the reason why I refer to the Daily Mail as Klaus Schwab's friends is because, as you all know, Klaus Schwab was the director of the Daily Mail from April 1998 to December 2004, wasn't he? Wasn't he? And what these people are doing is disgraceful. Prince Andrew is a pompous, entitled oaf, but his accuser, Virginia Roberts, has questions to answer too. Right, Sarah Vine. What the hell are these people trying to do? These people are now trying to portray these poor girls like Virginia Roberts who are victims. They're now trying to paint these people up as people who don't matter, who are money grabbers, etc. These people are absolutely disgraceful. Normally, when a jury returns a verdict, that's the end of it, but not in the Ghislaine Maxwell case. If anything, when it comes to this extraordinary tale of power and perversion, the plot appears to be thickening. Too right, the plot's thickening. Too right's the plot's thickening. This juror that came out and spoke to the press, yeah, he just happened to speak to the Daily Mail, yeah? The Daily Mail, and this whole trial is in complete jeopardy because of this interview to the press, yeah? And who are the Daily Mail working with again? Klaus Schwab and all his acolytes over at the World Economic Forum. And who's Klaus Schwab working with? Who is he working with? Oh, that's right. Klaus Schwab's working with Prince Andrew, isn't he? Like, this article in the Guardian from 2015, when it's talking about Prince Andrew to host reception at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Like we told you, they're all working with Klaus Schwab. And who else? Who else is Klaus Schwab working with? Oh, that's right. Yeah, back onto the World Economic Forum website now. That's right. He's working with Isabel S. Maxwell, is he? Ghislaine Maxwell's sister is working with Klaus Schwab. She is working for him, and it just so happens that the newspaper that Klaus Schwab works hand in hand with is the paper that this juror gave this interview to. Scotty David, yeah? Who are you, Scotty David? Who are you? And who are you working with? Because this is a complete attempt at a cover-up of this despicable, sordid affair. These people are an utter disgrace. And as we told you yesterday, let's look at this article again that we showed you yesterday in the Steeple Times that came out in December of 2020. exclusive. Neighbour reveals Ghislaine Maxwell was under surveillance in 1994 over her mucky madam activities at a South Kensington Mews house by Met police officers. Why didn't they stop her? So according to this article, Ghislaine Maxwell was under surveillance by the Met since 1994, yeah? And what it also says in this article, and alludes to, is the officers remained for a week, because it's talking about this flat that was diagonally opposite Ghislaine Maxwell's alternative address, which was, she had a second house. Where was it again? It was in 69 Stanhope Mews East, yeah? And a flat opposite, the police set up a video camera, according to this article, and were monitoring the comings and goings from this flat, because there was an alleged brothel there, okay? And the officers, remained for a week, and then I heard no more about what happened. All I knew was that a brothel was being operated from there, and that the police wanted to close it down. They could have caught this evil woman, but maybe her friendships with powerful people like Prince Andrew helped ensure her criminality was swept under the carpet. Well, there you go, people. That is what it's saying in this article. These people are an utter disgrace, and these people think that they can dance between the rain, never getting wet. Teflon people that think there's going to be never any consequences for them. These people are an utter disgrace, these people. And who are they all working with? Oh, that's right. They're all working with this man, Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, who's pushing the agendas of the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and stakeholder capitalism. And just remember, people, what does Klaus Schwab have to say about this pandemic? Oh, that's right. And I quote, "The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world." That is what these people are up to, like we have told you. What these people want to do is replace democracy with this brand new multilateral global system that Klaus Schwab says is fit for the 21st century. That is what these despicable people are up to. And as I've told you on many occasions, this system is going to work exclusively for them and their acolytes and the organisations that these people are working with. And who's that? The 1,000 richest companies in the world, NGOs, the World Bank, okay, the UN, these kind of organisations. These people are an absolute disgrace. And as I've told you on many occasions, it's about time that people started waking up, okay? So I'm going to wrap up this broadcast tonight, but thank you very much on this Sunday evening for watching Arno TV. And if, you like the output on this channel and the content that we put out, then please like and subscribe to this channel. And once you do, ring the notification bell so I can inform you guys out there about future videos or live streams or whatever that I'm going to be putting out. And trust me, there's a lot more coming, because I refuse to stay silent while these kind of people rip up democracy on a daily basis. And be under no illusions, that is exactly what these vile, disgusting, despicable people are up to. And like we've told you, they all have a lot to answer for. So I'm going to be back soon, as I've said, with some more videos for you. But until I am, take care, stay rock and roll, and I will be back very, very soon.